Welcome to the Bliss Out Queen podcast for the spiritually curious who are committed to revolutionizing their life and the world. Through this podcast, you will learn how to evolve your life and intentionally create from a grounded and soul-aligned place. I call this the Bliss timeline, a reality where you are living in a flow state, abundant and balanced with your heart, soul, and natural rhythms. What I share will come from my own discoveries while exploring this timeline and learning how to develop it. If this sparks excitement in you, I encourage you to follow the podcast, share with a friend, and go on your own exploration of your Bliss timeline. Hello, and welcome to another episode on the podcast around the topic of bliss and what it's all about, different practices to integrate into your life, and things to think about of what is bliss and how it can be experienced and felt. So today I felt inspired to share about this idea that bliss comes from a natural way of being, and it's your natural way of being. And if you hear some pop footprints in the back, there's a doggy that's wandering around the room right now. And so back to bliss and your natural way of being. It's this idea came to me actually a few years ago. And for me, I'm only really now starting to click in what that looks like if I'm really, truly honoring my natural rhythms and my natural pace of things. And we all have unique rhythms and paces, but at the end of the day, we also are still connected with the rhythm of nature. And so there is some commonalities between all of us and that rhythm and those patterns of nature. So back to what it means to, what is being? Being is a combination of both presence and action. So it's like a perfect balance. And it's, you can also see it like something that a teacher of mine taught me was about vertical alignment. So when you're in this vertical alignment energetically, your focus and your energy is literally vertical. So it's grounded and it's connected to your crown chakra, and then it's connected in the ethers beyond that. So you're connected in a vertical alignment. Your body is a channel and you are in presence with that channel. And when we start to worry about the future or the past, or think about things that are not happening in this moment, then we start to go into horizontal alignment, and then feels way out of balance. And also in that horizontal alignment, we're not necessarily in presence with our intuition, with our stability, and with our sense of inner peace and balance. It's also, you're more easily susceptible to be swept away by big emotions and caught up in it, rather than present and observing it and letting it move through you. It can really take you away. And also it can also bring you, the horizontal alignment can bring you out of your body. And that can feel like a sensation of fuzzy in the head, or just kind of feeling like a zombie. Maybe you feel numb, more tired, things like that is what I've experienced. And this is all sharing from my own experience of how I've experienced these differences. And so when I'm in vertical alignment and my beingness, I feel a lot more peace, gratitude, a lot more connected with my heart, a lot more certain, content, happy, and Yeah, a lot more connected with this higher version of myself that is all-knowing part of me, that me as this human with this brain and the like general consciousness doesn't necessarily have access to like knowing everything, like what's going to happen in the future. I don't know. But there's this part of us that is connected to this realm of life that is beyond what we are experiencing now in like our human experience, and it's connected to this spiritual realm that is beyond time. So there's no time there, and it's also connected with all of the beings, the spirits, the whatever you feel really aligned with or like resonant with, anything that's beyond our human experience, that's there to help us, to guide us, to remind us that we're loved, that we're supported, that we are more than what it is that maybe our ego and human self is telling us we are, or that someone else's expectations might make us think we're not worthy. But that connection with that spirit realm and those essences, whatever it might be for you. It could be gods, goddesses, it could be religious figures, it could be connection with your loved ones who've passed. It could, for me, I'm really connected with animal spirits. I'm connected with ancestors, and there's some goddesses and gods that like come into my worlds here and there. Yeah, it's more like a subtle sensation for me, but I know that there is this team, and definitely I feel a voice with my higher self that is there to remind me of my truth and our truth, that, we're always taken care of, and we do have sovereignty over our being, our choices, and, we get to create the life that is supportive of who you are and your natural way of being. So, full circle, kind of went off into the distance and came back. So, natural way of being is a beautiful topic to talk about with Bliss, because it's really intertwined with presence and mindfulness. And yeah, for me, like being is really, it comes hand in hand with that. Like it's kind of like impossible to truly be being like in your present state. It's just like, you just presence, it's like the most powerful thing you can cultivate day to day, and honor and value for so many reasons. And I think one of them is experiencing bliss. The other thing I wanted to share is some tips about how you can cultivate, how you can also learn about what is your natural rhythm, and how to align yourself with people, environments, like collaborative opportunities, maybe work opportunities, whatever's in your physical reality, to align with that rhythm. And one of the things you can do, and that I'm practicing, is actually, this was last night that I got this idea. I was making myself a cheese board. I'm having this cute weekend getaway, dog sitting. I'm in Vermont. I'm currently looking at the beautiful winter scene of the trees, before they bloom. And it's like 360 almost, or like 180 of windows with this gorgeous landscape. So last night I got some cute cheeses and made myself, I'm having like a solo time. And while I was making the cheese board, I felt this like urgency in my body to rush a little bit, and also to like get it done. And I just heard a voice, and I had a reminder that if I can't be in a rhythm that feels good and present with myself, like how do I expect to experience that with others? And like it's really important that when we are spending time with ourselves, we are truly present with ourselves and the experience. And like sometimes physically my body leans forward when I'm not in my body, when I'm really just out there thinking about things that don't really actually help me to, that they're just not helpful. And the only thing that it's doing is taking my focus away from what's so important, which is the energy put into my body and the focus and time spent with myself. So something you could do is ask yourself while you're doing activities, like, is this, if I was like, wow, how should I say this? In presence and relaxed body and just enjoying the sensations and the pleasures of the moment, what is your pace? Like, how do you enjoy doing things? Like, do you enjoy long walks? Are they slow or are they fast? Are you more of a runner because you have more energy and like to move fast? Or is it more so because of you're just so accustomed to and comfortable with a fight or flight state? And I'm really curious because I'm not someone who experiences ADHD, and I'm curious for others. Everyone is unique, and so I'm really curious how others experience what it's like when they're in their own rhythm that feels good, that is discovered when you're in that state of presence, and also a relaxed nervous system when you're at the state of you're safe and you're taken care of and you're grounded and you're in your vertical alignment. So I would love to hear from you as you discover what that feels like for you, because I know like we're all unique people, and my pace is definitely different than others. And yeah, so I think that it's important to really discover it for yourself and be gentle with yourself while you're discovering this. And then also to another way to practice having your life be surrounded around your beingness, like being a reflection of who you are in that vertical alignment, is to practice shifting your belief systems around, to orient your beliefs to support who you are, and your beliefs to like create this abundant life from that place of beingness. So for me, I've wanted so much to have my own business, to like travel the world, to have a sense of freedom of time and be able to generate as much money as I desire. But I realized what I really wanted was more the sensations of what I thought that would give me. So now I'm practicing how to create a life that my beliefs are, I'm receiving money continuously into my bank account, and my source is coming from source of universe, of God, of this oneness, and it's through me that it enters this physical world. It's not through someone else or because of someone else. It's like through me and this channel that I am, and that I get to live a life that feels almost like, because I grew up, grew up in a life that was like lower, maybe middle class economically. Like I basically didn't grow up with generational wealth per se. And so I'm creating a life now where I feel as if I have like generational wealth and have the wealth to experience life at that caliber of like really luxury cars and beautiful villas, and stay and experience locations that seem so distant and inaccessible. If you come from a place where maybe you were in that class of like middle, lower class family, growing up, but if you can have anything, like what feels really good, and for me what feels really good is this very like wealthy, almost like royal like life where everything is taken care of. All my desires, my needs are already met right now. Like I already have such a beautiful life, and am constantly manifesting things that fulfill me, like spending time with this dog here and having space in this beautiful home. And then from that place, I'm creating things such as this podcast so that my focus can really be on just sharing from a full and content heart and from like a really grounded place. And everything else is taken care of, and it's not dependent on a business that I create. So instead of focusing on the how, I'm really focusing on the sensation of what it is I deeply desire in my heart. And so that was a bit of a tangent, but this is like the beginning. This whole Bliss podcast and the series about Bliss is really the beginning of that energy that I'm cultivating and creating. I'm thinking if there's anything else about this topic I wanted to share. I took a few notes. In general, some things you can do as a way to be more mindful and present with your day-to-day life is to practice like when you like noticing in your body how that feels. So you can notice in your body if you feel like you're starting to clench your body. I get a lot of tension in my shoulders and my neck. That can happen a lot for me. Or maybe you're clenching your jaw. And these are all little signals showing that there's something that's a little bit out of place. Like maybe you're not speaking authentically, or maybe you're accepting something, doing something that actually doesn't feel good and doesn't fulfill you. And maybe what you really need is like a moment to breathe with yourself. Like these are all signals telling you that something's a little out of balance of what it is that is right for you in that vertical alignment of beingness. And some other tips would be like literally telling yourself, what am I doing now? Like coming back to the present moment, like saying, right now I am washing the dishes. Right now I am washing my body. Right now I am recording this audio. Right now I am sitting, and I'm sitting because I felt like my body needed rest. So let me like truly be in rest. And right now I am breathing. Right now my hand is placed on my heart. Right now my feet are touching the earth. Like try these things out and see if they help you to like come back to like what's happening right now. The blessings that are for you and coming to you are only able to when you are present to receive them. So being in that presence is actually really important for manifestation, if that's something that you're into. And other things is like meditation. I would say starting your day with something that is really grounding and also helps you to come back to your center and feel connected with your heart, your vertical alignment. That can really help in general with mindfulness throughout the day. When you're drinking water, take a deep breath, like readjust your body, because I feel like sometimes I'm like in like go mode, even though there's like nothing to go for, like why? And so drinking water, I practice doing it slowly and enjoying and feeling the sensation of it. Same thing with food, like enjoying the meal and taking a moment to look at the food, look at what's on your plate and say like, thank you for this food. Like, thank you for the food. I am so grateful. Thank you, Earth, because everything on this plate came from the earth. And I can't think of anything that you would ingest for food that would be not from the earth. Like, let me know. I can't think of anything. So thank you, Earth, for all of this. Yeah, so gratitude, like leaning into things that you're grateful for, looking up at the sky, like noticing the clouds, pausing to listen to the birds, pausing to sniff a flower, like all of those things really help. And the way to do it authentically is to come back to breath. So if you need to, before you go on a walk, like sit for a moment, close your eyes and breathe until you feel like your body's relaxed and you're way more present with this moment and you feel like your brain is cleared up from thoughts. Another thing you can do to help you clear your energy to be more focused on the present is to, while you're breathing, imagining that there's light around your entire body and then setting the intention that all your energy cords and connections to all beings, people, places, the past, the future, like it's all cleared and it's being cleared with love and gratitude for everything it has already given you so that you can be really present with the moment now. Yeah, things like that. And also activities that bring you into your body. So you could practice with painting or coloring. Reading a book even can slow you down. Yoga, exercise, working the muscles because brings you into your body literally if you're bringing focus to your body while you're working out. And cooking can be a really beautiful practice for mindfulness because it brings you into the activity. And taking pictures, any sort of creative activity. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Nothing else is coming to mind, but there's so many things. And so the best way to find out what's for you is to start to listen to the voice you hear or the inclination you feel of something you want to be drawn to do or explore as an activity that helps you bring you into your body. It could be anything. It could be gardening. It could be playing with like Legos. It could be scrapbooking. There's a lot of different options out there. And so, yeah, coming back to bliss again, it really does come from this vertical alignment, this beingness, and your natural rhythm and pace. All right, thank you so much for listening to this episode, and I wish you all an amazing day. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that was a lovely episode for you and you gained some sort of wisdom or aha moment or activation for your own journey and life. And if you'd like to connect further, you can go to my website, erikajulia.com. It's ErikaJulia. And there you'll find also a blog where I share a lot of writings on similar topics. And also, if you feel really inspired by this episode, please leave a review and share it with a friend. And those two things would really help this podcast get to more people and more hearts and more ears, more minds, more bodies. So that would be really helpful. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for being here.